match. I was surprised with how the match played out. And I'll start off with my elite or delete of the night. For me, SPD, this is an elite simply because I think I'm always impressed by what we see out of Wardlow. I think that they're doing a really nice job of showcasing him. He was recently on Vicky Guerrero's podcast, and he talked quite a bit about getting more and more opportunities to show what he's capable of in the ring. And I think that AEW is quickly coming around to the fact that this guy isn't going to last in MJF's shadow for much longer. He was phenomenal in the ring tonight. MJF, again, I mean, we so rarely get to see him on television, and he makes sure to remind us that that's because he's a big deal. But I thought it was really, really great to see both those guys in the ring. What were your thoughts? I mean, I'm going to give it an elite. I still have a couple more things I want to throw out there, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I thought it was a fantastic match, man. It was, very energetic. It was fast paced. It was, like you said, that quote, I heard about it too, how he's, can't wait to go on a solo run, Wardlow. We're a big fan of him here at Dynamite Download. He did not disappoint once again, showing his power, and that 3-man suplex off the ropes that we tweeted about. I took a video of that, and it was a wow moment for sure. But honestly, I love seeing MJF, but he didn't shine as much as I wanted him in the match. To me, it was Wardlow and Sammy. Sammy cleaning house and doing these, seeing him back in the ring for, he's been kind of in and out of Dynamite here and there.
Yeah.
But he was doing that double corkscrew, tope suicida, or I don't even know what you call that. He just kept hitting those high marks, and he was doing awesome. It was fun to watch Sammy in the ring, Wardlow in the ring. And then, and then I liked how Jericho called the Wardlow muscle-headed GQ or something like that.
If there was a muscle-headed GQ, he should be on the front page of the magazine. No, and it's interesting that you bring up Sammy's offense, because that was one of the things that was my takeaway of it, right? Was, the way this match played out was very different, and I'm going to talk about that a lot more in the column tomorrow too, but it was very different than that I was anticipating, right?
Right.
They had Sammy and Ortiz had swore that they were going to do anything it took to make sure that MJF didn't make it to the pay-per-view. So I was anticipating, some viciousness, some brutality, maybe some cheap shots, going out of their way, maybe having a little bit more offense in this match. The way that the match played out, I was quite surprised, because we're not used to seeing the Inner Circle kind of be the underdogs, the baby faces in some ways. Ortiz really got worked over. I was anticipating that, Sammy and Ortiz were going to kind of go at MJF and try to, and as JR and the team in commentators, at the commentator booth, they talked about, they thought that the focus point and the strategy of the Inner Circle was going to be isolate MJF, keep the War Dog out of the ring, beat him down, try to wear him down before the match at the pay-per-view. And it didn't play out that way.
Right,
actually,
sure.
Ortiz was fighting from underneath for most of the match. He really and then he got that hot tag to Sammy, and that's when it all exploded, right? And I think it's a good point by you. We haven't really got a chance to see Sammy on TV much, particularly in the ring. And it was a really good reminder of why he, in and of himself, he's one of the more promising young stars in AEW. He doesn't get a lot of the talk. Everybody's talking about Darby right now. As we talk about, we're big Wardlow fans. There are quite a bit of people who are getting buzz. Sammy's kind of fallen in the back burner of late, but I think that this was a great reminder of what he's capable of. And man, he was on fire. His
I agree.
Offense was just rapid fire, man. It was absolutely incredible to see what he was capable of. And I know that we marvel at some of the things that Ray Phoenix and things like that do, but Sammy is every bit the high flyer that anybody else in this company is. I mean, that guy can really pull off some moves that are just jaw-dropping. So I think it's great to hear that both of us kind of looked at it as an elite of the night.
Definitely.
It was definitely different. The match played out much differently than I thought it was going to play. But all people involved in the match came out looking better.
Yep.
It also planted seeds for future feuds, right? I think Obviously, Matt Hardy dressed in the Serpentico mask, throwing the chair at Sammy ringside.
Yep.
That was great, and it kind of helped build more heat to their feud. Sammy got a little comeuppance later on in the show, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
But we also got to see MJF spearing Jericho at commentator, like we talked about. And then the big guy, Hager, came out, separated them. And we got to see, I mean, I know everybody is clamoring for Hager and Wardlow to go head-to-head. Two guys who have great collegiate wrestling background, two guys who are big, strong, athletic. They planted the seed for that, and they've been kind of watering that seed for a little while now. I know that you're excited about that one. So all around, I think that they really did a great job of sort of setting the tone and setting the foundation for what's to come in the future for all people involved in this one. This was a great start to the show.
Yeah, and I really think AEW did a great job on this episode of Dynamite to have every match that's at Full Gear, essentially, except the buy-in, be involved on Dynamite tonight in some form or another. It had another seed planted, another build to it, and they haven't done that in the past. Last pay-per-view, I don't think they had their go-home show as strong. You talk about the MJF spear and Jericho, and you talk